Our first question, Bishop, as we reflect over the 47 years of marriage and your 74 years of life, what virtue shines the biggest to you?
Oh, my goodness, that is an excellent. Wait a minute, I'm the one that's supposed to ask the hard questions. That's an excellent question. I honestly think the one virtue that shines the brightest and is the most important is patience. Over the years, amen, I've learned how valuable, how indispensable, and how patience can bring the right promotion at the right time. You know, Dr. Owens, some people think it's just good to be promoted, but promotion before your time really is not good. Or, amen, missing your promotion because you were out of time is not good. So I would say it's patience.
Okay, that's a good answer. Wow. As I ask myself that question also, what virtue I would say is probably God is able to keep that he will commit unto him.
Yeah.
That God is able to keep you in a marriage. He says, what God have joined together, let not man put asunder. I thank God through the grace of God, he has kept us and man has not put us asunder. So that's very, very...
That would be confidence in God then, would
Yes.
it not?
Amen, because Bishop, so much in our society today, marriage and divorce is just as common as marriage in our society.
Absolutely.
There's no kind of virtue any longer in marriage and people sticking together and
Right.
working it out.
Right.
You know, to divorce now, that's about just as common as a person getting married.
Right.
But I thank God that God, by the grace of God, and we hope to be an example to many, that God is able to keep you. If you put him first, God can keep you in marriage. He's able.
Well, you know,
Well.
Dr. Owens, that's a heartbreaking statistic, but true. But the truth of the matter is that is recorded divorces. There are many people that yet live together that have really emotionally divorced from one another. So the divorce rate is a lot higher than statistically it bears out. What we're trying to say that if you're going to have a successful marriage through the years, like Dr. Owens said, I think this is really good. This is good. Like Dr. Owens said, first of all, you got to have confidence in God that God is able to keep, that you commit to him. He just doesn't keep everything. If you want food not to spoil, you must put it in a refrigerator. The refrigerator is confidence in God. But if you don't put the food in the refrigerator, if you leave it on the counter right next to the refrigerator, it still will spoil. It has to go into the refrigerator to be kept. You can't say you have confidence in God and you don't know God. There.
If you get into that marriage and you make a vow, then you are supposed to keep that vow. I'm not saying it's not going to be difficult. You have to get in there, and by the grace of God, we said God is able to keep you. You're supposed to allow God to keep you in that marriage. You are not supposed to divorce except it be for some kind of transgression, the person that committed adultery, according to the Bible, or the person dies. Other than that, you need to look at that man real good, look at that woman real good, and say, are you somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with? Do I want to spend...
Can I put a... Go ahead.
So those are times, Bishop, when you examine it. But once you get into it, you're really pretty much stuck. So you need to make good of the stuckness. You need to make good of that stuckness.
I just want to add a caveat. Dr. Owens said, and I agree with that, you want to look at the person and say, now, is this somebody I really want to live forever with? I would put a little caveat on top of that and say as well, you need to look at that person and say, is this the person that I want to suffer alongside of for the rest of my life? No, really. So when you take it to that point, then you done answered every question the devil will ever throw at you, if you're willing. Matter of fact, Jesus says that to us. Are you willing to suffer with me? If you are, you'll reign with me. It's really the same thing. I am committing myself to you, as we say in the vows, for better or for worse. Not just for better only, because if it's only for better, better don't last always. You got to have some better and worse, because in the worst is when you are being made. In the worst, you are being shaped. Matter of fact, in the worst, your marriage gets stronger. In the worst. So when things get hard, do you leave? Or else she gets sick, or she has to have a procedure, or you get sick, and then what do? Well, I committed. I went into this thing for the long run, no matter what shakes down.